How's it going, you guys? It is 100 degrees out. It's the middle of the day and it's hot. Burnout has officially full hit. No remorse, coming in strong this year. I have almost zero desire right now to do much of anything in the garden. So I'm kind of forcing myself to get out here. I'm ready for the fall garden to start. I need to pull some weeds. I need to do some cleanup. I've let a lot of things just kind of go. It's been hot. It's been rough. We're hitting, yesterday was 108 degrees and that's pretty normal. So I'm looking at real estate online because I want to go somewhere cooler so bad. It's so hot here. But I'm gonna pull some weeds, deadhead a few things. I'm gonna cut back that dahlia that has spider mites. And just kind of do a few things around the property. But I also wanted to talk about the video that happened on Sunday last week, which was moving the Gardener's Delight nectarine out of the container that it was in and putting it over at our neighbor's house. The pot is actually right there, where you guys can't see it. It's right there. I had a lot of you guys that were like, upset that I cut the roots off of it and that I didn't smash the pot. Which is fine, but I'm not going to smash the pot on a Italian terracotta rolled rim pot. That container that it was in was over $100, and the tree itself I bought for I think $35. And then I also had a lot of you guys saying, why didn't you put it on your property? You have plenty enough room here. Well, anything that is vegetable or food related I'm trying to keep in the veggie garden area, and I have a whole vision for how the property is going to transform next year, and just placing that fruit tree wasn't in the vision. So I had to cut the roots. I wasn't going to smash the pot. The roots were going into the ground, and so there wouldn't have even been a way to smash the roots or smash the pot and then move it into the ground because the roots were growing into the ground already. So I had to cut those. So there's that. And I don't know, I mean, it's a tree. it's a plant. They come and they go. If you guys don't like seeing plants being pulled, you're not gonna like the videos this fall, because a lot of this bed is getting pulled out. I've talked about how this side of the garden doesn't perform very well, and how I have a whole vision to rework this side, and a lot of these plants are coming out. The ones that are not thriving, the ones that don't do that well, are coming out, like this right here. Let me show you guys. So like this viburnum right here, it doesn't do all that well. This is the first year it's actually like done like kind of okay, but I have another viburnum on the property that's back there, and it's way bigger, way healthier, way less disease and pest insect on it, and it's like back behind the birch trees, and I get blooms off of it. This one I've never even gotten a bloom off of, so this one's gonna get pulled out, and pretty much a lot of this is gonna get pulled out, but it's not gonna just get thrown away. They're gonna get pulled out, I'll cut them back, and they're gonna be given away to other people. So I will post on Facebook for people to be able to come. Let me move this. There we go. I'll post on Facebook for people to be able to come and get whatever plants they want, or ask my grandmother if there's anything that she wants to, or Ashley. But I want to be happy in the garden, and I want this to be things that I enjoy, and there's a lot of plants that they gotta go. So I've enjoyed them for the time that I had them, and they either didn't perform the way that I thought they were going to perform, or I'm realizing I don't have the space for it, which, yes, we're on almost a quarter of an acre, but it's not enough to have the plants that I want. I have to really love the plants that I have here on the property in order for them to stay. And if they don't perform the way I think that they're going to perform, if they don't do what I think that they're going to do, or if I bought it because I saw somebody else had it, and then now a year and a half later or 2 years later or whatever it might be, I'm like, why did I buy that plant? It's got to go. I want something, I'm trying to be very mindful. And this next year, I'm really excited about how the garden is gonna look. I would like to do a more formal, I want like formal cottage vibe is what I'm going for. I think that like the aviary is gonna bring that like cottagey vibe. The little picket fence is gonna bring the cottage vibe, but I'm gonna do lots of like boxwoods and lots of other things around the property. I would like to do like a fountain kind of like in the middle of the lawn and just kind of a few other things. So I'm really excited about it, but that does mean a rework of plants. While like, I mean, it looks full and it looks lush, but you get in and it's just kind of a menagerie, and I don't love that. I would like to add more Rebecca like I have right there. I've loved the Rebecchias. We had them last year on the other side of the property, and then last fall I planted a whole bunch on this side, and they've done so well. So I would really like to add more of those. I think those are very like cottagey garden flower. So I'm gonna plant more of those this year, but let me show you guys what is gonna come out. Okay, before we get started, look, Miss Lola is out. She's been out for a couple days, still refusing to go back. Here's her water where she can swim, do whatever she wants. She prefers to be back in that corner though, but she doesn't want to go inside. So starting over in this bed, this is a pomegranate tree, and this is going to come out. I've actually been threatening to pull it out for a couple years, and it's going to go. I have a grass in here and it gets too much shade, so that is going to get pulled out. The creeping Jenny for the most part is going to stay, but you guys can see like here's a weed, there's a weed, there's a weed. There's lots of little privet popping up in here. I don't know if you guys can see. So like all of these right here are privets just popping up. So I need to come in and do that. The St. John's wort, I absolutely love it, but I think I need to maybe move it or find a different variety. Look at all the berries. They're supposed to be these really pretty red color. They just burn. And I should be able to grow it. I love St. John's wort. I love the leaves. They get this dark green color as they mature, but as they come out this very bright green color. I have some garden mums that I planted 2 years ago, and they're very hardy in our zone 9A. So I'm gonna pull those out because I just don't need red and orange mums coming all year long. Some corkscrew grass. This is gonna get pulled. This is a kahuhu. It's the weirdest name ever. This is gonna stay. I love the black stems on it and the green foliage of it. It's a very pretty color. This arb is gonna stay. I don't remember the name of it. Viburnum's coming out. The peonies are staying. I'm gonna move the hydrangea. You guys can see there's my spider friend. It just burns. While the leaves do really well, I think it's too hot right here for it. You guys can see this is middle of the day. Like dead, like this is noon. And shade, shade, shade. This is where it starts to get a little sunny. And then full sun. Dahlia is gonna get moved. The Fastigiae blue spruce is gonna stay. I'm really liking that there. The hibiscus is gonna get moved. I love it. I do wanna keep it. It's gonna get moved. All of this is going to come out. Snapdragons are going to come out. The rose will stay. The Carl Foster's grass will stay. The New Zealand flax will get pulled out. Rebecca, I will try to overwinter that. And I mean, it should be totally fine. But I love it. It's so pretty. It's starting to fry a little bit. I'll plant more of that. This is going to come out. This is the Orchid Rock Rose. That's coming out. It's just very, I don't know, deserty. I have asparagus back there. Those are going to come out. I have an Italian spruce. That's coming out. This Rose of Sharon is coming out. The lilies will come out. The grass will come out. All of these dahlias will come out. The creeping Jenny will stay. I would love if this thing filled up with creeping Jenny and I just had plants in it. The apple tree is going to stay, and I think everything else is going to go. So I have a whole plan for the garden, and then this section where the cut flower garden is going to be very, very formal. I want hedges of boxwoods and a few other things like that. So I'm ready for fall. I'm ready to be able to take all of this out. It's been so much fun, and I wish I had more property somewhere that I could like dedicate a cut flower garden to it. Like if you guys have the space to dedicate a cut flower garden, highly recommend it. I've loved doing it, but I think having it take up a majority of the property might have been the wrong choice for me. what I should have done was extended the veggie garden and just done it in there. But next year I would like to grow more veggies, get back to where I started. I missed growing some veggies. It's actually gonna be later on this week. I'm gonna be going over my fall garden seed picks that I'm really excited for. Fall gardening is one of my favorites. I don't get the burnout for it. I just get a lot of enjoyment and excitement for it because, like I said, we're at zone 9, so I think like the coldest we get is like, oh, what is it, like 28 degrees or something like that, or like 31 or something like that, 32. We rarely hit 32 degrees. So it's not that big of a deal here. I love winter gardening and fall gardening in our zone. I know a lot of you guys though, you guys have it rough. So I'm gonna pull some weeds and get things just kind of cleaned up. Maybe it'll re-spark some of my gardening needs that I have. I mean, there's weeds everywhere. Things are just looking a little tattered and a little bit rough. So let's go ahead and pull some weeds and maybe try to clean the garden up a little bit. All right, well, it's gotten super windy all of a sudden. I mean, there's clouds in the sky, which is really weird. But I am gonna pull some weeds out of this bed right here. Let me turn the camera around and show you guys what I'm dealing with. Sorry if the audio is a little bit crummy. Like I said, it's super windy out of nowhere. Okay, so this is the bed by the aviary. So in here, I just have some pokeweed coming up. That might be a pecan right there, some more pokeweed, and then I've got some dead things that just need to be cleared out. And then I'm gonna cut the lilies back to about here, so they're halfway, so they still have some foliage on them, so that way they can still, you know, suck up energy and bloom next year. I need to cut the sucker off of that, and then I'm dealing with all of this pokeweed from the neighbor's house, which I like having it here because it covers, there's a roof right here that you can't even see when this is filled in, but I don't love it just hanging over. So I'm gonna kind of push it back a little bit or cut it or do something with it. There is a spider web in there, so that may or may not happen. I'm not exactly sure where the spider web is. And then I need to come down here, and this is the dahlia I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna cut it back to almost nothing. And then there's another pokeweed in here. There's a pecan in there, but there's a spider web there, so we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if you guys can see, but like the sheen that's on some of these, it's on everything right now. The pecan tree that's here is dropping honeydew from the aphids that are totally infesting this tree. And then I need to come in here, there's privets. I'm gonna cut these mums back. They're just like in the walkway and it's really frustrating. I have something right here. I don't know what is this? I keep having these pop up all over the property. If you guys know what this is, let me know. I have no clue what that is at all. And then, like I said, there's a whole bunch of privets and other things in here. So I just have a Home Depot bucket and I'm gonna just start pulling some of these weeds, and I figured we could chat while I pull weeds. You guys know my love for the privet tree. I cannot wait for this thing to go. I mean, the privet tree is not anywhere even near us, and it throws back seeds all the way back here, which is kind of crazy, but whatever. And then the pecan tree, that happens because the squirrels grab it and they decide to bury their plants or bury the pecans, and they don't come back for them. So I'm gonna just pick all of these guys out. It's a really, really weird day here today. It's kind of overcast, which is really weird for us. We really normally don't get overcast or any type of rain or storm or anything like that in the wintertime, or in the summertime, not in the wintertime. My mind is ready for winter. So this is really weird for us to have any type of weather like that, but it's all right. I'm gonna take it. I'm really excited about it. Some of these are so long. I haven't done anything in so long back in this area. Oh. Do you want this? Come on. Come on. Yes. There you go. So I'm sure someone's going to say something about me pulling out some larger plants, but let me show you guys. So the problem is this pecan tree has aphids really, really bad. And the aphids are dropping their honeydew, which is the sap they secrete. And it's just destroying plants in my garden. It's actually pretty much killed this blue spruce. So I'm really heartbroken. This is actually going to end up getting pulled, which really makes me sad because I bought this and it was half that size when I planted it. So heartbroken about that. I don't even want to deal with nursing it back to health. So I'm going to pull that, I think, today. Well, I'm probably not, because the spider web is actually attached to that, and I just don't want to bother the spider. I want them to be able to continue to eat the bugs out of the garden. So I'm going to leave that, but that is going to come out now. I pulled the Rebecca that was back here. I really need to get on top of the aphids in the neighbor's tree. They already said that I could take care of it, so that's not going to be a problem, but I am going to use something non-organic to just get rid of it. And the aphid stuff drops all the way down to right about here is where it stops dropping. So pretty much everything on this side is always super sticky, and it doesn't thrive. So I don't know what I'm even going to do in this garden, but like Brent hosed everything down the other day. I think it's starting to rain, but oh no, that is all honeydew. That's all sap from the trees above. That's not even rain. That's all honeydew. So it's really hard to garden here because of this tree, which it looks like a telephone pole, but that is the telephone pole. But there's a tree right behind it, right there. So that's why I'm gonna pull a lot of stuff in this garden bed, and I'm gonna keep it probably just annuals every single year until something happens with that tree, or until I know exactly how to control it every single year. It's really, really bad. My hands are so sticky now from touching the hibiscus. But I just don't want things that are just gonna get destroyed. I mean, like that St. John's wort gets destroyed every single year, and it's supposed to be an evergreen for us, but I think the honeydew from it is just killing the plant. So it gets sticky, and then it gets hot, and it's just, a lot of things don't do well in this bed, and it's because of that tree. Whereas things on that side of our property do really, really well, because I think that they get the protection from the hot afternoon sun, and there's not aphids over there. So I'm really sad about that blue spruce, but that's part of gardening. So I'm gonna cut out most of this dahlia right here. I am gonna leave, I think it's gonna look so weird, but I'm gonna leave one long stem, and that is because the spider's web is still attached to one stem of that dahlia. So I'm gonna try to leave just that portion of it. I just don't want to mess with the spider, and that's like our biggest spider that we have here. I really don't want to make it mad. So I just don't want anybody coming for me though saying, why are you pulling plants out? right, you guys, I got the top of the apple tree taken care of and the pokeweed popping up. You can see the roof now, but honestly, it's fine. It stands out way more on camera than it does in real life. We got things cleaned up. The ground is looking better, more cleaned up. Coming down this way, this area looks so much better. I did unfortunately take out the spider web. I was trying not to, but the dahlia stem that was right here, I was trying to wrap it around a pole. And when I wrapped it around the pole, the spider web broke. So that was unfortunate. But honestly, the spider's so big and so healthy that it'll quickly build a new web. I am gonna leave that because it'll probably end up using that again. I'm sure it will. And that's fine. I did clip back some of the peony, not all of it, and a little bit of the viburnum. And then we came down this way. I pulled out the mums that were here, and I think it was one here, one there, and one there. And then I pulled the weeds from this area. So it's looking a lot better now. It's just feeling refreshed. So I really think if you're dealing with any type of summer burnout like I've been really dealing with here, I've been so over a lot of things in the garden. I've just been really exhausted by it. It hasn't been performing well. I find little angles where things look good, but then there's areas that things don't look good. Let me show you this right here. The aisleway completely blocked. Zinnias have flopped over yet again. So it's just exhausting. I mean, you can see here there's 4 rows of staking on this. There's one here, there's another one there, and then there's one down below right there. So that's probably what I need to come do, is stake everything up 4 times. But this row, I don't have T-post in, so I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that. I'm feeling the burnout, and I think a good way to refresh the burnout is by coming out and taking care of some of those major areas that are really, really bothering you. And this bed that I just took care of right here is one that has been really bugging me and making me not even want to walk past like this section right here. I don't want to go past it. I don't want to see any of it. It all looks good before that, and then it just starts getting bad. So I think that that's going to help me feel refreshed and revitalized, at least on this side. I cannot wait for the flower field to be done. As much as I loved it, there's a lot of things that are dying. So let me come in here and show you guys, like, the yarrow is starting to fizzle out, and there's so many weeds popping up in here. The feverfew is fizzled out. I can't use it for cut flowers. I mean, here's a giant weed right here. Okay. There's a weed. Status is pretty much done. The euphorbia is now finally doing something, which I love, but now I'm over everything. Sunflowers are looking good. Come down this way. Snapdragons are not doing much. Coming down here, all of the scabiosa is pretty much done. There's very few flowers left. So I'm calling it. Its time of death is now. And the euryngum has died. So I loved the euryngum, and I would love to grow more of it. I would love to grow it next year. I do need to cut it all back so it can be just the foliage down there. So I'll cut all of these stalks off and it'll be totally fine. Things that are coming into their own. Look at these asters. These are the Penny Duchess asters. They're so beautiful. I cannot wait to use some of these. I think this is 2 varieties because I think this is a different one than this one right here. So pretty. I'm loving the asters now. My Lysianthus is looking good. Look at how full that one is right there, but they're all flopped because I didn't stake them. So zinnias are looking good. Lysianthus and the asters are looking good. Pretty much everything else is coming to an end. Amaranth is coming to an end. It's covered in aphids. Dahlias have been giving me a terrible, terrible problem this year. They have not been doing well. Right there, that's my Janie dahlia, and she is not looking that great. She's a little rough. So I'm really excited for the season to come to an end. A lot of things need work. Oh my gosh, let me show you guys this. Okay, so my Japanese anemones, which I absolutely love. This is the first bloom that has opened. I love Japanese anemones so much. one of my favorites. I love how the foliage is all down here and then the flowers come up, and this is just gonna be a wall. There's another one back there. Oh my gosh, it's opening up. So beautiful. Okay, anyways, I'm just happy for the season to be coming to an end. I haven't been able to I haven't been able to enjoy this side of the garden this year almost at all, and breaks my heart a little bit because this side of the garden is one of my favorite sides of the garden. It's full, it's lush, it's beautiful, everything thrives over on this side of the property. No clue why. I have an idea, because of that persimmon tree. Wow, I haven't stood over here in a very long time. It's really pretty here. Anyways, I've got more pokeweed over here. Our property is surrounded by pokeweed, so I need to come in. You guys can see it's like hanging way down low, and so I need to come in and I need to clean that side up from the pokeweed. And those cannas that are there, I didn't plant any of those cannas. So while this bed is a mess, I still think it's an absolutely beautiful mess, and things are doing really well over here, and it's really pretty. But I haven't been able to enjoy it because I was dumb and I did not make a walking path. So the flower bed starts here and then these rows start right up against it. I should have made a pathway along this, but you live and you learn. Next year it's gonna be something totally different. So I think that that's gonna be it for this video, you guys. It looks like we might have a storm coming in. I don't know if you can tell, but those are all clouds right there. It'd be weird if we got rain. It'd be really weird if we got rain. We don't get rain this time of year at all. So I'm gonna go inside. It's really hot. It's 101 degrees and it's very humid, very hot, very wet. It'd be weird if we got rain at 100 degrees. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.